What is up, everybody? So on December the 9th, there was a status conference for Stephen Avery's case. Neither team's lawyers, neither the defense or the prosecution appeared live in court. They both appeared via Zoom. There was a judge in the courtroom. Now, there was nothing really of interest or importance discussed at the status conference. It was basically the judge asking for the best way and the quickest way to get caught up on the case. Remember, there is a new judge on the case, and he is looking for the best way and the quickest way to get all of the information. I believe it was the prosecution that talked about how big the case files are in Stephen Avery's case. There are thousands and thousands of pages of litigation and filings and motions and all of that stuff. And he is basically looking for a Cliff Notes version so he can get caught up as quickly as possible. He seems like he's not familiar with it. I know a bunch of you out there are going to say the best way for him to get caught up on it is making a murder. He obviously can't do that I think it's pretty obvious why he couldn't do that. He has to follow the legal filings, everything that has been filed in court. He can't go watch a documentary and be like, I know what happened. But I mean, it's so popular, he's probably seen it, but he can't come out there and be like, hey, I know everything that happened in this case because of this Netflix documentary I watched. He obviously has to read the actual court filings and go by that. So they talked about that. Someone talked about how it is not likely they are going to hear anything on Kathleen Zellner's latest filing, the one that she filed earlier this year, until the spring at the very earliest, if they stay on the current timeline of things. Now, that is not something that is written in stone. Something could be posted tomorrow, or something could be posted in July. There is no set time of them where they need to respond, or at least there's no set time where they're going to respond. They did talk about that, and they said the earliest they see that happening would be the spring. It wasn't the judge that said that. I'm unsure if this person was actually in the courtroom or not. You could only hear their voice. They didn't appear on camera. This was broadcasted on some Wisconsin news YouTube channel, so if you have a look, if you Google it or YouTube it, it will come up. Both teams' lawyers said there was no immediate reason where they need to schedule a date in court to talk about anything, because as of right now, there's nothing for them to talk about. They are waiting until they hear what the response is going to be from Kathleen Zellner's filing that she filed this year. And that was basically it. It wasn't overly long. There wasn't any information. There was no evidence presented. There was no really discussing anything involving the actual case. It was just the judge trying to get caught up. It was them talking about dates of when things could possibly happen. And that was really basically it. There was nothing like, well, Stephen Avery can get released today or anything like that. It was just a conference to update everybody on everything that is going on because there is a new judge on the case. So that was basically it. I just wanted to jump on here and give you guys the update. I wasn't actually going to make this video, but I was getting a bunch of messages and comments asking what happened on the status conference. So instead of me typing it out 100 times and replying to everybody, I would just make this video and explain what happened. But yeah, I think that was it. In regards to everything else, one of the biggest questions I get asked the most is, when is Making a Murderer Season 3 coming out? And there's been no information on that ever happening at this point in time. There's nothing really going on that is new that they could put out a new 10-part docuseries. It's just basically the last couple of years has just been motions being filed, and then it being generally everything gets denied. There's been no breaking of new evidence or anything like that that has been presented in court where they could do something with making a season 3 of Making a Murderer. I'm sure if something gigantic happens, they will make a part 3 or at least update the series. But as of right now, there isn't really anything for them to talk about. And yeah, that's basically it. As soon as something does break in the case, or as soon as Kathleen Zellner talks about it, or anybody that's involved talks about it, I'll definitely bring more videos on this case. But yeah, that's basically it. What do you think? What do you think of everything that's going on? What do you think of them probably waiting to next spring before they respond to Kathleen Zellner's latest filing? Let me know. Leave some comments below. I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you again soon.